But being honest, it took me 13 years for my mom to know about it.
What's up to my GC crew? In today's video, as you guys see, this is not me here on the camera. We are going to be having a very raw conversation with my mother. As you see, my mother does have locks, and so we're just going to be talking about her lock journey, talking a bit about representation, and also some cultural stigmas that are attached to the wearing of locks that a lot of people are not aware of. So Ma, you look really cute, by the way, girl.
Thank you.
I'm dead. How long have you had your dreads?
Over 22 years.
Okay, so 22 years. So that means I was about 4 or 5 when you got them.
Exactly.
I remember when you got them. And did you start the dreads on your own, or did you get them done at a salon? You know, now we're in the age of YouTube, so it seems like a lot of people just do it on their own with starting at home. But 22 years ago when you got yours, what was your process? How did you start them?
My process is initially I went to the salon to get it started for like a month, and then on I took over doing it. Twisting was like an easy thing for me.
Okay, nice. So you were efficient already in getting it done before YouTube was even a thing, because you know, now in this YouTube age there's so many videos, so people feel like they can do things at home, but you took on twisting your hair at a time where people were more comfortable with just going to the salon. So that's really cool. Can you just tell the viewers a bit about what made you get the dreadlocks?
I got them because of my kids at the time. They were very small. You and your sister. I got it for you all because at the time I worked Monday to Friday, and basically on the weekend I had off. And for me, a weekend, Saturdays for chores like cleaning, taking care of the kid, you and your sister. So going to the salon and spending a couple hours was taking up half of my day, and it's something I hated. And I remember the last time I went to the salon, I went there about 11 and I was back home 1 o'clock in the morning.
What were you getting done?
I was getting 4 braids done, and at the time, me being from another country, I'm very shy, so she would start my hair, the hairdresser, go to another customer, and that was the last straw. And at the time I did not drive, so I took a cab home, and I was so frantic of, you know, traveling so late and being out at night. So that was my breaking point, putting the dreadlocks. And I may say I would have traded for nothing else.
So you initially got them for convenience for several reasons. Going to the salon just wasn't feasible. Also having young kids, you know, there's a lot that goes into caring for kids as well, and dreads just make it easy. So just getting into that a bit, actually I'll move back a step. So, you know, some people call them dreadlocks, some people call them locks. Do you have a preference on how you refer to them? I know some people are offended when people say dreadlocks because they're like, there's nothing dreadful about my hair. But how do you feel?
Dreadlocks is fine for me.
Okay, guys, Bella wants a little airtime. Bella, what do you have to say? Okay, now back to you, Ma. So one of the things that you mentioned is one of the main drivers for you getting the locks was the extended time that you would spend in the hair salon, and it was just too much. So you also said that being from another country, you didn't want to speak up when you were dealing with a stylist, you know, working on other things while she's doing your hair, which is ultimately prolonging your stay at the hair salon. What does that really mean? Like, what did you mean when you said that you couldn't speak up, like being from another country? And also before that, please clarify, what country are you from?
I'm from a small island in the Caribbean named Dominica, and it's located in the West Indies. It's close to Barbados, also between 2 French countries, Martinique and Guadeloupe.
Nice. And Just to clarify for people, Dominica is not the Dominican Republic. They are two separate places. People from Dominica are considered Dominicans, and people from the Dominican Republic are considered Dominicans. Just want to clarify that for your knowledge. And then also, Mom, now getting back to you saying that you were scared being from another country, what does, your birthplace have to do with your interactions?
Yeah, I may say, the hairstylist, number one, she was an elderly person. And with my culture, you don't dare talk to an elderly person, especially if they are trying to help you.
When you say you don't dare talk to, what do you mean by that?
I know she is a place of business, but for the time frame I was there, I know the duration of time was too long. She kept going back and forth, but I felt just shy telling her why am I, here in here so long, or why is she moving from one customer to the other, but is a cultural thing, like we don't talk back to an elderly person out of respect.
And so I'll just interject here. Again, this is your story, but of course you're my mother, so I know you and I know the culture. So guys, another thing that I'll add here. So my mom is touching on the piece, and you all hear me prodding a bit more because I'm trying to get at something, of course. So I do think that there's a piece about not speaking back to an elderly person. And honestly, I think that's something that's pretty much universal, especially in the Black community. But another piece that I just want to clarify about Dominican culture is people do not really speak up in general. It's not really just an elderly thing. Even if you're in a place of business and you're paying for a service, people are not going to be inclined to just speak up and say, hey, so keeping on this culture conversation, do dreadlocks and Dominican culture go hand in hand? Are they two peas in a pod?
Ooh, that's a subject. At the time I put dreadlocks, it wasn't accepted in my culture at all. At the time where I live, they had a lot of Dominicans, people from my country, and I know they wouldn't take it well.
And when you say where you live, where were you living at the time that you started?
I lived in Newark, where my kids were born.
Newark, New Jersey, guys.
Newark, New Jersey. And putting dreadlocks, it was an easy road, because you having dreadlocks from my country, they're associated with drugs.
I'm just so happy my mom brought this point up, because I really wanted to debunk the misconception that dreadlocks are widely accepted across the Caribbean. People think that dreadlocks is just a West Indies, a Caribbean thing. And what my mom is saying is really a testament to not every island accepts dreadlocks. And you guys would actually be surprised. There are more islands that do not accept dreadlocks in comparison to those that do. And I think for a while, dreadlocks were just seen as something that were unkept, like a vagabond or something like that. And so imagine being shy, and then you decide to do something with your hair and you get all of this newfound attention. It's a lot. Mom, can you agree that it was a lot to process?
Yes, I remember one woman addressed me and she's like, why did you put dreadlocks? And I explained to her, and I was touching on it, and I say, you see how beautiful they are? And I say, it's all natural. And I say, oh, why are you questioning me? You are wearing a wig and it's fake.
Oh my
I'm sorry, but I was just fed up of being jabbed at. So it come a point in time, I'm just fed up and I'm sick of it. And in reality, it's natural. Or I would have people say, is that your hair? And I'd say yes, and some people would be nice about it and say it's so beautiful, but a lot of people that were being, just arrogant about it, I would say. They would ask some silly questions.
So you have this new hairstyle, newfound attention, two young kids, you're in Newark, New Jersey, trying to get to the bag. I knew that would drain you a little bit. Do you feel like you had support?
I had support from close friends, but being honest, it took me 13 years for my mom to know about it.
13 years.
Yes.
13 years. Ooh. You hit a hairstyle.
Yes.
How did you hide your dreadlocks that come out of your roots for 13 years?
Well, I wear wigs. I had a gold one, a burgundy one, any color I could lay my hands on. So that's what I was wearing over the years. And I wasn't pleased about it, but like I said, due to cultural reason,
when you say you weren't pleased, like you weren't pleased at the fact you had to do it? Or?
I had to do it, and here I am. I liking the dreadlocks. It's convenience for me. But because of cultural reason and not being accepted, I have to put on these wigs on my head. So pretty much I had all colors, I may say.
So you had, so you took that little wig jab earlier, but you used to be Miss Wiggy yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so you're wearing these wigs, you're hiding dreadlocks for 13 years.
Yes.
And so what made you decide to tell that you had dread? Did you tell your mom after 13 years?
Oh, well, like I said, I live in New Jersey, but my mom lives in my country, Dominica. So I did not travel for 13 years. So
intentionally?
Intentionally.
So you stayed away from your mother, your Madame Will, for 13 years because you had dreadlocks.
Yes.
And people, this is before FaceTime, okay?
Yes.
So before you're thinking, so you mean to tell me your mother didn't see you on FaceTime or Skype or something? My mom recently got an iPhone. She was not iPhone shorty. And at the time that she got the dreadlocks, iPhones were not a thing. So you stayed away from Dominica for 13 years. And what made you... So I'm assuming, did you tell her before you went? Like, what happened? So just pick back up from there.
I need a glass of wine.
Girl, you don't even drink. Talking about wine. I'll get you some water. What you want, a water bottle?
Some Coca-Cola. Ooh. So I decided to travel back home, and I got the best wig. And I remember the first day I got there, I was very tired from traveling because I worked days prior to me traveling. And my mom is someone that get up early in the morning, and she was happy to see her daughter after 13 years. I remember hearing a knock on the door to my bedroom, and then she just opened it. And come on, we all know we wear a wig, and when we're about to sleep, we take that wig off. So she opened the door, and then I jumped off the bed, and she saw the dreads, and I swear to God, I thought my mom was having a heart attack. I remember she holding her.
Are you serious, Bella?
I remember my mom holding onto her chest, and I literally had to run to her and say, Mom, it's okay. Like you know, I don't smoke, I don't drink. I did it due to the kids and going to the hairdresser, and for me to take care of them on the weekend. And she sat down, but she wasn't happy. She had a long conversation with me and say, how do people take it? I say, Mom, it's, you know, it's clean. I take care of it. I did it for the kids. And
so you're saying she wasn't happy with you for the entire day. So just looking back, do you feel like your mom, well, grandma, do you feel like grandma genuinely does not or did not like dreadlocks, or was she more so concerned about what people were going to think of her daughter wearing dreadlocks?
Yes.
Do you feel like she genuinely hated dreadlocks, or she was concerned about other people?
She was concerned about what people think and what they associate it with. And I think that was her biggest concern. And she kept saying that for the whole day. They're going to think you deal with drugs or you smoke drugs. And I say, Mom, I really, after being away for a long time, I really sat her down and spoke to her. And I say, I don't care what people think. As long as you know I don't smoke, I don't drink. And then the meaning of dreadlocks for me is a style. You know, it's a style. I do it for convenience. And I love it. And it worked for me. And it's
So first, Mom, I want to thank you for being so transparent and so vulnerable. You are so proud of yourself. I can tell right now. Thank you for being so transparent, because I know even though you've grown so much in age and you have grown kids at this point, it's still not easy to sit and talk about things that are condemned by your culture. Dominicans are very private people. And then also to even speak about almost like a somewhat hurtful, somewhat, honest experience that you had to have with your mom related to your hair. So I appreciate your honesty and just willingness to speak about that. What I'm thinking about now is you hid your hair for 13 years. I know one of the things that I go by in my life is that you can't expect people to believe you or believe in you if you do not even exude that confidence in yourself. So like, you can tell me, oh, I enjoy doing decor. But if you're like, oh, I enjoy doing decor, I'm like, oh, she doesn't even believe in herself. You have to come at me like, I enjoy doing decor. I do this. I live by this. I breathe this. And I am that girl. So do you think that in a way you fed into the stigma that was attached to dreadlocks by hiding it for so long? Or do you feel like you just did what you had to do?
Yes, definitely. I fed into it, and I think it all comes down to having confidence. And for me, if you go ahead and do something, it's something you want. And for me, the duration of time I take, the 13 years, for me, I wish I was real. Like, initially when I do it, I say, well, this is me. Accept me how I am. Because for me, I'm fabulous with my dreadlocks, and I love them. And like and I tell your sister, do what make you happy. And I do believe anybody should do what make them happy. You don't live your life for anybody once you're not doing anything wrong.
Ma, so you've shared all of that. Now, please believe, I'm pretty confident that there is someone present day that is dealing with this exact same thing. The reason may be different. It may not be because of cultural stigma. It may be a workplace that is not accepting. It may be for religious reasons. It may be anything under the sun for why someone feels like they cannot make this step to make a decision on their natural hair. This is crazy to think we're going into 2021.
Yes.
So what I'll say to you is, if you just had one piece of advice for someone out there that is dealing with this and it's weighing on them heavily, what would it be?
Number one, I would say, don't ask for any feedback, because the minute you ask for any feedback, they think you lack of confidence.
So Ma, I agree. You said don't ask for feedback because it can show that there's a lack of confidence. And, this is really sad to think, but a lot of the time, something as innocent as asking someone, do you like my hair short or long? Do you like this color on me? Do you feel like, it makes it look like it's pulling my edges or something like that?
It's like opening a can of worm, and then they go right at you.
And then sometimes you don't like what you hear. Sometimes you really do not like what you hear. And if you don't feel that confidence initially, and maybe you do feel like you need some sort of validation, I would suggest getting in that mirror. You tell yourself, I look good. I look good. One of the things, you can even create some type of imagery to show someone else that is your quote unquote hair goals. If there's someone with beautiful dreads that you've seen before, you tell them how confident they appeared in that picture. That's what I want to be.
I remember, I'll wrap it up and I'll say, I remember a coworker came to me and she was talking about my dread, and I say, I like it and that's what matter. And she back off.
So you felt like when you were confident,
yes, and then, you know, I was very confident and kind of a little aggressive because I loved it. And don't come to me, this is mine and it's all natural. And no matter if it's a wig or dread, anybody, if you are wearing, whether it's a clothes, you should feel confident. And for nobody to criticize you. Once you like it, that's what matters.
I agree. Give me that, ma. Give me that, my girl. And that's the end of it. Thanks so much for tuning in, GC crew. Bye.
Bye.